G'day guys, I'm Sam Fleming from Queensland, Australia. For those of you who don't know me, well, you're about to. Well, the COVID restrictions have lifted, so I can finally get my freshwater fix. I'm out here at Lake Wivenhoe today chasing some bass, and it's cold as charity. I can't even feel my fingertips. It's absolutely freezing. Gonna do a bit of a troll around this morning. Rod's already in the water because this dam's only 6 knots. We'll see if we can come across a school. There's a decent show there, but come across on a school of them and do a bit of vertical jigging. That's probably my favourite way of catching them rather than on surface at the moment. It's when you get the big ones. Got a bit of weight, unless it's foul hooked. What is it? It's not really fighting. Oh, that is a good fish. Oh, that's a beast of a yellow. Oh, look at you. Now's the time I need the net. Let's get him up in here. That is what we come for. Right size, wrong species. Holy! Have a go at that. That is a big yellow. Right size, wrong species, but can't complain. He'd be 45, something like that. Good size. They don't last too long out of the water, so we'll get him back in the water quickly. So I've been trolling for about an hour and a half now. Come across a couple of schools, but they weren't really feeding, so I didn't bother dropping down on them for too long. So I just come up the top of the dam now and trolling along this rock wall. Good show of fish, but they're all scattered, they're all at different depths, so we've got a deeper diver on. Let's try and get as close as I can to the wall and see if we can get something. Unless they're balled up, it's not really worth dropping down on top of them, because by the time your lure gets down there, you're off the spot. So we'll troll up and down the wall and see if we can get one on the troll. Not getting much bigger than that. Oh yeah, this one. Feel like a caddy. Oh, it's another big yellow. It's with me and Yellows today. Fucking hell. Have a go at him. Another good fish. Just not a bass. Oh, we'll get him back in the water now. So I've just come across some schooled up fish on the sounder. I might drop down on them and see if we can get some on the jig, but before I do that, I'll just quickly give you a rundown on what I'm using. I've got this 2000 Rapala Contessa. It's got 4 pound on it, which is pretty light, but you're out in the main basin when you're jigging usually, so there's not much to get wrapped around or broken off. I've got 12 pound leader, so if I do get scuffed on the bottom, that should stop it. It's more fun fighting them on light gear anyway. I got on that trolling rig, I got 8 pound and 12 pound leader as well. So for the jigs, I got this little eco gear shrimp, I think it is. I chop and change between that and blades usually. Just drop it over the side and it's not that hard. Vertical jig, straight up and down, hop it off the bottom or wherever the fish are sitting. So if they're 2 meters off the bottom, drop it down to the bottom, wind it up 2 meters and just sit there and jig it. So we'll drop down on this school and see if we can get one. Oh, yep. That's how we like doing that. Oh, that's a good fish. That's getting a bit better. Don't be stupid. That's a bit better. It'd be 40, I reckon. Maybe a little bit bigger. Way more fun on the jig than on the troll. We'll get him back in. Yes. Well, that's a wrap. Camera's nearly dead and I'm just trolling into the boat ramp now. Got a few fish. It's good to get out on the dam again. Thank God the restrictions have finally lifted. So might be able to do this all again next weekend, but hope you've enjoyed it. Stay tuned. We'll see you on the next one.